Welcome to Florida Men on Florida Men with Greg, Wayne, Josh, and Cameron. The podcast where Floridians discuss the crazy but true stories that always seem to take place in Florida. Wow, guys, we made it.
Episode
39.
39.
We've been waiting for this one.
This was our 7-year thing where it's like, you quit if you're not making it work.
Right, by episode 39. Yep. Episode 40, a special surprise for you guys. But this is 39.
Yeah,
so enough about that.
Whole new deal.
Whole new deal.
Georgia man on Georgia man.
Yep. Yeah. And we're going to be replaced by women.
Nice.
Hello.
So that's going to be fun. But we had a great week so far chatting with you guys. Appreciate everybody who reached out. You're so wonderful.
Donations. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you
Keeping
so much.
us going.
Was able to get some new shoes.
Yes, I like those.
Yeah.
I was able to get a face mask.
Airwalks. I didn't think Cam would know about Airwalks.
No, that would be C.
I saw him in the Air Bud movies.
Yep. Yeah. His boy handler did wear those.
Well, I got hooked on the fellowship with these two.
Thank you.
Before coming in here. They're good
Super
guys.
hooked.
We're friends again, but I want to be hooked on some headlines if that's possible.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay, so last week we had a story about a Florida man that drove a golf cart into a Walmart.
We did.
Okay. Yep.
I remember.
I'm not sure how that even made the news because remember it was like, nobody knows how many got injured.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this week we have a story of a Florida man that drives a cart out of Walmart.
Right.
They were selling carts?
No.
Oh.
No, they were not. So drunk Florida man.
Jazzies. These are the Jazzies.
Drives the Walmart courtesy scooter out of the store.
Cool.
And then another mile.
What?
Whoa.
So they're little scooters that they have for people that don't want to walk or can't walk.
Right.
We'll say that.
Right.
Anyways, he drives it out of Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he just decides to keep going.
Why not?
Yeah.
No, I'm impressed it made it a mile.
Yeah.
For
He
real.
went a whole mile and then he pulled over at a Wawa gas station so that he could charge it.
No.
So that he could keep going. But by this point, police had caught up to him.
Okay. How'd they catch up?
I think
to
they were
him?
walking.
Yeah. A slow speed chase.
Sir. They're tapping him on the shoulder.
Please pull over.
Let me get this straight. You're telling me the shopping carts will lock up if you take them out of the parking lot.
Yeah.
But the scooters make it a mile out.
Nope, they go a mile out. You
Yeah.
go down to your local Wawa, grab a sandwich.
Those things are expensive, though.
Oh,
So
yeah. It
I'm
says
for
in the article it's $1,500 scooter.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, anyways, he gets to the Wawa, tries to plug in. They come in and arrest him for grand theft. But they found out.
Theft. Nice.
They found out why they were there. He lives 24 miles away.
What? So he was on a journey.
Dude, he
missed the
was on a
bus?
long journey. Like, you have to stop at every gas station to plug into the wall.
You know, Tesla's got those chargers and the map, so you could map your trip. I wonder if he mapped his trip.
Well, he probably did, but honestly, I want to know how long that mile took.
I don't know.
I mean, those things
especially if
barely
you think about like if it was slowly dying as he was going.
Yeah.
Like, by the time he was there, it was like basically crawling.
Goodness.
In a way, the cops did a favor because he would have been going for a whole day.
But they didn't take him home. They took him to jail.
Yeah,
They did take him to jail.
that's true. Grand theft, man.
Yep.
Amen.
All right. So I'm just going to tell you ahead of time this next story.
Yep. That's what we do.
This next story is nuts. Okay.
Okay.
It's nuts.
I'm nervous.
Yes.
Florida man
Mm-hmm.
arrested after allegedly performing botched castration on a man.
How do you botch one though?
You just don't. Yeah.
Because if it's still there,
I don't feel so good.
but then you just continue cutting, right?
Oh,
Listen,
whoops.
I told you the story was nuts.
okay.
Bro, I could clean that up with some garden shears.
Yeah. So, anyways, a Florida man was arrested after the police got a 911 call that was abruptly ended. So they sent an officer to the house. They found Gary Van Ryswick.
Yeah.
He opened the door.
Dr. Gary Van Ryswick?
He is not a doctor.
Okay.
At his home, they went inside and they found a man laying on a table. His groin was heavily bleeding.
Jesus.
Oof. Hospital
So they had to get an ambulance for him. They found out that Gary Van Ryswick is 74 years old. This is not the first castration that he has done.
Where do you advertise this?
Billboards, man. I-4.
Yeah,
true. Is a castration just the old the saggy bones?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
it's not the old
no.
Not the beam.
No.
Not the
So he was taken to jail.
Not the boom mic.
No. They found out that he had done the surgery before on another guy, but he didn't even remember his name. Probably, I'm sure he does know it, but
I'm
he's
sure
not
he
going to give
changed his
himself
name.
up.
Yeah.
But it's something that he has done before. So I don't know. It's like the weirdest
word of
thing.
mouth. That's how you advertise that.
I guess so.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I don't want to pretend to even understand why somebody would do that on both ends. Like, why, unless you're,
there's a website for people that want.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, they're inconvenient.
No, well, okay, but I'm just saying, like,
the surgeries.
I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I think honestly, like, it's either some kind of weird fetish or something like
that was part of it.
Really illegal was happening.
Yeah, that was part of it.
Yeah, because
I thought it was
in the past there have been like serial killers who have had like victims and stuff, and the cops show up and they find them in the middle of something, and the guy's like, "Oh no, he agreed to this" or whatever, and the cops left. Like that was a thing in the 70s. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So this kind of has the same vibe almost, where
it's weird. It's weird.
He wanted his leather bag removed.
Yeah, right. Yeah. His Gucci,
his change purse.
Yeah. All right, so lots of bleeps in this episode.
Yeah, that was sent in a lot. We got some weird.
It's
listeners.
weird. Here's the thing, because every week there's that one story that like hundreds of people will send in, and then we're like, okay, like, usually that's the one we do.
I think that we must put off that vibe, the castration story vibe.
Maybe, but this was the one week where, as this one started trending in our inbox, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah. So
normally we ignore those.
Yeah, but big ups. We're going tough this week, man.
That's right.
And I feel hooked.
Guard yourself
on that. Guard yourself. Guard your heart.
Honestly, I feel a little broken already, but
yeah, but I think I'm
ready to get broken.
I need a palate cleanser.
He's gonna be a better swimmer, though.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's get
no drag. I'll help break you. So I got a letter today. Well, I got it yesterday.
Sure.
Okay.
Had a couple postage stamps on it, so they wanted it delivered.
They paid big.
Yeah, super big. It's got to be like 40 cents each right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. So we get this comment a lot that you guys seem like besties,
right?
Yeah,
bosom.
We
buddies.
seem like it.
Anna Green Gables would call them bosom buddies,
right?
So the question is, but do y'all ever argue?
Okay.
And what's the last thing you disagreed about?
Oh, okay.
So since I had this question in front of me before I brought it to the show to read out loud, I got to do some thinking. Yeah. And a few weeks ago, we were all in Tampa together.
We were.
And we were crossing a busy intersection.
That's right.
And co-host Wayne kept saying, "We can make it." And then like lurching forward when clearly there was no opening.
It's too risky.
Right.
Yeah. BMW drivers, you can't trust them.
I trust my speed though.
That's where the disagreement started.
Right.
We don't trust your speed.
We don't trust your speed. And I even said, you couldn't make it because I know I couldn't make it.
Right.
And then that started the whole, well, which one of us would be faster in a foot race? And surprisingly, we all agreed with ourselves that.
Yeah, I'm definitely faster.
But I think clearly by our debate we had where I pointed out how weak y'all are.
Sure. Incorrectly so.
I'm the fastest of the three of us.
I think, honestly, that was probably the closest we've come to getting into like a genuine argument.
Yeah. We were all within choking distance.
Yeah.
Yeah. But why would you say that I'm not faster than you?
Pick a reason.
I'd
1
say,
through 10.
Have you ever seen, Wayne's got a couple little little kids, little girls running around.
I do.
Have you ever seen them run after those girls?
Ever seen Wayne run after? No.
Exactly. No. I didn't even have to say that loud. That was rhetorical.
I've seen him ignore them while sitting on the couch.
Yeah. I've seen him call to a stranger and say, "Those are my two. Will you bring them back?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure one time he got into his car to drive to them to get them.
I think the reason why you guys are assuming it's because I'm lazy, but it's mainly because I don't want you guys to see my true speed.
I don't think 8 feet away wouldn't show your true speed.
No, it would. Okay. I would think, honestly, I know I'm faster than Josh. I'm not even going to give an example.
Okay.
But I think for Cameron, one time I watched Cameron struggle to pull a raft out of a pool.
Okay. What?
Because the suction in the water was enough to
what does that have to do with me running?
Is this a big trampoline raft?
Your upper body was so weak that I'm assuming that if you were
How long did you watch him struggle to pull?
From inside, I was drinking a Kool-Aid drink.
Okay.
While his kids were running around.
I was watching him struggle to pull a raft out of a pool for a solid 17 minutes.
Jeez. Yeah. Do you remember this?
You know I don't last that long.
What was the importance of getting this raft out?
Who knows? Hurricane was coming, I guess.
Was there weights in it?
I don't know what
it was just pure water, but that's why I think
this was a dream.
I think that's just
I can rip floats out of the water.
Now you can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you were so shamed, you started training.
I see.
I mean, speaking of water, have you ever tried to run in the water? Run
in my dreams.
Okay. Yeah, that's what it feels like.
That's what Wayne looks like when he's actually running.
What? See? It's true. It's true. It's like a weird slow motion, like running from a bad guy in your dream.
It's like I'm running. My real life run is like a dream run.
He's not getting anywhere.
Yeah. Okay. He trip runs. It's weird.
Well, this is why we can't have this conversation.
Yep. Clearly, I'm the fastest.
Josh can't even walk without tripping over his own feet.
Well, it's because of the new shoes.
No.
I'm not used to their distance to the floor.
You got the feet of like a platypus beak.
They're extra grippy.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I guess I just
when you run, it's like running in like no gravity.
That's for traction.
Okay,
it's weird though because all he wears is running shoes. Remember when he wore those little footy shoes?
Yeah, there was
5 fingers.
There was a season. There was a season where Josh was late everywhere because he had to slip his toes into the running shoes.
They're so hard to get in
and get the Velcro around.
It's because of the king toe.
For like 6 weeks, his index toe and his pointer toe was stuck together because he thought they were in separate pockets and there was just in the one.
Those shoes, they were bright red. They were embarrassing. You're right. I thought they were gonna be the new trend.
I know, but listen, this is why we can't talk about this kind of stuff. I feel myself.
I would definitely win.
I'm seething.
Just to end this thing.
I mean, I would win, but Greg, he would love to join us.
Yep. No,
but somebody's got to be at the finish line.
The crutches, though. I mean,
it's the crutches.
Yeah. Greg is on crutches Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
It's a weird thing.
It's a weird combo. We have no idea why he does it. Yeah. But I feel broken. Thank you to whoever sent that in.
That was our last disagreement.
Yeah.
To end the segment. I'm fastest. That was our last disagreement.
I would say it's our last disagreement ever. We're never going to fight. We're never going to fight again.
And we're never going to foot race again.
Nope. All right. I feel broken.
I feel broken.
I've got a story for you guys, and we're not going to argue about it because it's going to be the best story you've heard this week. I promise.
Okay. I've heard some pretty good stories. I watched Murder, She Wrote.
Too. Let's go. Achille Murat was born January 21st, 1801.
You want to say that one again for us?
Yeah, because...
Yeah, it's like Achilles, but Achille. No S. Achille Murat.
Achille the rat.
Achille the rat.
Right.
Do it in your German.
It's Achille the rat.
Right. Right. Spot on. He was born January 21st, 1801.
1801. Easy.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
318.
Right? If he was alive, he would be 318.
Approximately.
Consumer math.
Oh, that was real bad.
He was born in Paris, France, to aristocratic parents.
Paris.
Paris.
Nice.
His father was an innkeeper named Joachim, and his mother was Caroline Bonaparte, who was the sister of the French ruler Napoleon Bonaparte.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Shenanigans.
Connections.
Caroline was always considered an outsider and basically like a royal in name only. So basically, like the upper class in French society felt that she didn't contribute much to their culture. So like that perception was reinforced when she married Joachim, who's just an innkeeper, right? So she
Like,
wasn't really fitting in.
Not royalty. We didn't invite you to any of those royal parties,
right?
And you married a local boy.
Exactly. That's what they're saying.
She must have been taller than Napoleon, and he didn't like it.
Oh, that's a myth, bro.
It could be.
Read a book.
So Achille Murat had a pretty interesting upbringing because on one hand, he has a father, Joachim, who isn't quite lower class, but he definitely wasn't raised wealthy. And his mother was French royalty, but by all accounts, she's an outsider as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
French
royalty by name only.
Right. So when his parents got married, there were a lot of people who didn't agree with the union, but they had one huge supporter, and that was Caroline's brother, the Emperor of France, Napoleon.
Jeez.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He granted his sister Caroline the title of the Queen of Naples, which means that she ruled over a pretty good portion of Italy.
Oh, so now it's not just by name only.
Yeah,
right.
I wasn't expecting that turn.
And I think because like he saw like the way she was treated, and so he was like, okay, I'm gonna make this official. Like you have a title now, the Queen of
Underdog.
Naples.
He likes a good underdog.
He does. So when our story subject Achille Murat was born, he was born a prince. He was the Prince of Naples.
Nice.
Prince Achille Murat.
Right.
Yep. That's where I recognize that from.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was the oldest of 4 children, so he was next in line to inherit everything from his parents. The issue is that no one in Achilles' family really knew how to behave like royalty, if that makes sense. So
I think that makes perfect sense.
His dad's no longer an innkeeper, I'm guessing.
No, but like because his mother's family, they had land and titles, but they all considered her to be an outsider. And so basically Achilles got these 2 parents who they're royalties, he's a prince.
Yeah.
But none of them really fit in high society.
Yeah.
They don't know how to do it.
They don't wear the clothes right.
Right.
Not bougie enough.
Yeah, they wear the pants backwards like crisscross.
Yeah. Right. So he struggled making friends. But his brother and his sisters, they tried to amend this by attending French Academy, where they would learn to be proper and to kind of fit in. But Achilles refused. He never wanted to go. And so he would often be found roaming the premises alone. Or he was in the courtyard chasing birds around.
Or rats.
Okay, yeah.
So I think
Achilles, that rat.
Which is, if you think about it, like, you don't have to go to academy, I guess, but you're already not fitting in. And now every time people look at you, you're in the courtyard chasing birds around.
Yeah, you're chasing chickens instead of learning.
Right.
Yeah, for real. This is kind of...
Stay in school, kids.
He would stay out so long doing that usually a guard would have to bring him inside at the request of his mother.
Are there nocturnal birds?
Yeah, it could be.
I guess he's after owls.
Yeah, in France.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Night chickens.
Yeah, night chickens is what they're called.
They're delicious.
They are.
Have you had those? Baskin Robbins has them right now.
It was odd because all in all, he was really obsessed with being royalty.
Okay.
But like he didn't want to do any of the things that would make him appear to be royalty. Like he loved the fact that he was, but like his siblings are going off to school and they're reinforcing their status. Well, he's just kind of at home being weird. Right.
Sounds like my type of dude.
He couldn't put forth the effort. And so it's like he could feel the resentment from the other wealthy folks in the crowd. And in fact, people would actually come up to him and let him know, like, you're not really one of us.
Oh, I think they do that by slapping him with a glove, right?
I think so.
They take off their glove.
They're mean girling him pretty hard.
Yeah, girl.
But this motivated him even more at a younger age to really try to earn the respect of others, but also to build the respect for his family. He just didn't know how to do that in a way that like was proper. He didn't know how to really, make his family
fit in. I brought you the finest chickens.
Right, exactly. There's one report of his uncle Napoleon showing up in Naples, and he looks at Achilles' younger brother and says, "You, my good man, will make a great king one day."
Okay.
And so Achilles responds and says, like, "What about me? Like, I'm the oldest." To which Napoleon Bonaparte replied, "I'm sure you're going to be a fine soldier."
Oof.
So
and now put some shoes on.
Yeah, like basically everybody's hating on this kid. He's hardcore outcast at this point. But in 1815, Napoleon lost a series of battles and ended up being not only deposed as emperor, but he was exiled to an island.
You know this is Florida Man on Florida Man.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And so
Frenchman on Frenchman.
Oh, yeah.
It's basically Napoleon with his exile, he's the only ally to the family. And now he's not there anymore.
Whoa.
And so I don't know if you know this or not, but at this point in French history, the commoners are really big on cutting people's heads off.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. That was that time?
Yeah, that was at that point in time. There are major beheading moods going on.
Yeah.
So basically, shortly after Napoleon's exile, the commoners rise up in Naples and they drag Achilles' father, Joachim, out of the capital where they beat him to death and then cut his head off.
Ooh, that's the wrong person to do that to.
Wow.
Right. And so Achilles' mother, Caroline, she rounds up the children and she escapes through secret tunnels and into the woods just outside of the capital.
Man, there's always secret tunnels in
I
these
know.
stories.
I got to get a secret tunnel.
Yeah. They built one in there.
Maybe I have one. I don't even know.
Maybe.
You wouldn't tell us.
From me.
You wouldn't tell us. So they ended up taking refuge in Austria. And so they were safe, but this was a huge problem for Achilles because he definitely hated doing those rich royal kids things, you know, but he loved being royalty and the idea behind it. So before he was an outcast, but at least he was like a wealthy, rich outcast.
Yeah.
Now he's just an outcast in Austria. He's got nothing.
If you got to be an outcast, you be a rich outcast.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he's come of age and he says to his mom, like, look, I'm done with this. Like, I want to start over and leave all this behind. And so he actually gets her permission. His mother obtains traveling papers for him and he sets off for America.
Okay. Whoa.
Like new beginnings.
Here we go.
He's
Be a man.
Here we go. Headless horseman.
So I don't know what happened on the boat ride from Europe to America.
So much.
But when Achilles landed in Washington, he had completely remade himself.
Whoa.
Like rebranded himself. Like he shows up like confident, head held high, new outfits. Like he's ready to start over, like for real start over.
He broke into some Chester boxes.
I think so. He's telling everyone who would listen, I'm Achilles, Napoleon Bonaparte's nephew.
He is.
He's owning this like in America.
That's the way to do it. You're right.
As far as anyone in the States knew, he was the heir and the eventual ruler of Naples. So this guy's going to be controlling a lot of Italy soon.
Whoa.
And so
not a soldier.
Right.
I don't know about the soldier
He's
comment.
got shoes on.
Yeah.
Right. So for the first time in his life, Achilles had the respect and the admiration of the wealthy class. So it's not the French wealthy class.
Yep.
It's the American one, but he finally feels like he's kind of getting the attention he deserves.
And the American wealthy class, they're just like, oh, you're wealthy too?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're in. We got you.
You want to come to dinner?
Yeah, right. So he's really becoming a socialite at this point. Ooh. He's attending parties. He's doing rich people things because he's completely rebranded himself.
Yes.
When he landed in the States, he's a completely different person. And so he meets this guy named Richard Keith Call.
Nice.
And Richard is the congressional delegate to a little place called Florida.
Okay. Hey, baby, that's us.
That's us,
Cam.
That's us.
Florida man on French fries.
That's it.
Freedom fries, bro.
So Richard tells Achilles, look, man, like if you want to live big, you've got to relocate to Florida.
Nice.
This is where you've got to be.
That's where the true living.
Yeah. He says with your titles and your reputation, you could do really well for yourself.
That was the state motto for a while. You want to live big?
Yeah. Come to Florida.
Get a convenience cart.
Yeah, let's go. So Achille Murat, the former Prince of Naples, moves to a town in Florida called St. Augustine.
Hello.
Oh, nice.
And he rents this tiny house on George Street.
Yep.
So to kind of paint a picture here, if you've never been to St. Augustine, George Street is one of the main areas there. It's kind of the main strip in town where everybody goes.
Bourbon Street of St. Augustine.
Right. And so Achilles becomes super active in St. Augustine's like high society.
Cool.
He's getting to know anyone who's anybody. He becomes a Mason. He joins the Masonic Lodge. He gets really involved in local politics and basically becomes besties with anyone who has any sort of influence. He's really making the rounds.
Nice.
So somehow during all of this transitioning, despite having no job, he acquires 2,800 acres of land right outside of St. Augustine.
How you go about that, Cam?
Kill somebody.
Yep.
Or rich friends.
Free hugs.
He seems like a gentle soul. So I think he just talks somebody into giving it to him. But he starts
a whole lot of chickens.
Old lady.
Yeah, maybe. He starts growing oranges, sugarcane, and tobacco.
Whoa.
And he named his tiny new kingdom Parthenope in honor of the land that he would have inherited had nothing gone wrong back in Naples.
Okay.
So he's kind of recreating what he thought his future should have been.
Little Naples.
Right. Yeah, but he's doing it in Florida. And so he's basically done everything by the book to set himself up as someone special.
Without a book, though, which is even better.
Right. Someone who can be like a really great leader. The problem is people start noticing kind of really weird and out of character things about Achilles.
Oh, no. It's the birds thing.
Here we come.
So, for example, being raised in the French countryside, he wasn't accustomed to the heat in Florida. So on most days, he could be found butt naked, sitting in the river, wrapped in a mosquito net.
Bro.
Florida man.
You're right.
So
Sitting
what?
Naked in the river.
That's what we wear.
That's what we wear.
We get naked, a mosquito net goes on us.
You're born.
Absolutely.
They smack you on the butt. They
Right.
hand you a mosquito net. And
So good luck out there.
Yeah, they dunk you in the river.
And then they say, if you want to really live big, stay in Florida.
Yeah.
Anyone who passed by would hear him cursing about the demonic mosquitoes.
Yes.
And he would be going on about how Florida was a land cursed by Satan himself.
Okay.
And he couldn't believe he had been tricked into coming here.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So,
Well, hello.
Really rub it in there.
thank you very much.
Jeez.
On other occasions, wealthy Floridians who were out for a stroll in the park would find Achilles again in his underwear, chasing buzzards or other random birds through the public parks.
This guy
Got to get these exotic birds.
never grow out of that phase.
No.
One time, after a series of onlookers stopped to watch the chase, Achilles actually caught a buzzard.
Oh,
He
you
then-
don't want that
then what do you
near
do
your,
with it?
naked mosquito net.
According to an onlooker, he then lifted the animal up and with a huge grin on his face said, I'm so excited for dinner tonight.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, what? Oh, well, I hear their neck is tender.
It's very tender.
I have heard that.
So the cracks are really starting to show in his personality.
Yeah.
But I think it's really difficult to spend years as an outcast somewhere else and then relocate and maybe kind of pretend to be somebody you're not.
However, I'd say if I met royalty, I'd say, well, there's a lot of inbreeding, so
It could, yeah.
he could be the
Old buzzard eaters.
But I think for him, though, his family benefited in that area as not being, multi-generational royalty, I guess.
That's true.
But I mean, it's possible that to rebrand yourself, but it's just it's difficult.
Yep.
And so Achilles he throws this party, and he invites all of Florida's like elite citizens.
Yep.
And so in attendance, we've got politicians, socialites. The Brigadier General of the United States Armed Forces, Joseph Hernandez, was there.
Okay.
Like this is a
Jay Hearn?
a who's who party, right? Very swanky. And at this party, the menu consisted of animals caught by Achilles.
Oh
Oof.
gosh.
So they served
fowl?
baked buzzard,
Okay.
boiled hoodoo,
I love my hoot owl boil.
Man,
I've always
me
said
too.
that.
Yeah.
stewed alligator,
Oh,
and
man.
appetizers of various lizards and rattlesnakes.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
Instead of using napkins,
Oof.
Achilles had a very large fluffy dog follow him around the party. He would use the dog to wipe off his hands and his mouth, and he would occasionally spit tobacco into its fur.
Oh,
That's the way to do it. As long as
that's
that
animal
dog don't
abuse.
shed.
That's
So
sad.
it kind of seems like he's gone off the deep end a little bit.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: the people loved it.
What?
Yeah.
Like here's the thing: rich Americans love weird.
There's no stories at this time. There's no TV.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
no
there's
there's no
entertainment.
entertainment.
They love different. And so I think if they had done these things, they would be outcasted, but they genuinely thought he was like a weird Frenchman. They were just like,
Yeah.
maybe that's what they do.
How much money do you
True.
have to have a napkin dog?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Napkin dogs are expensive.
right. And this guy's spitting tobacco in it.
You
It's
know
just-
he's not putting it in the river to clean it.
no,
he's just
not at
getting
all.
a new
That's
napkin
his
dog.
river.
Yeah, that's
Right.
his river.
Jeez.
So at this party, he meets a young lady by the name of Catherine Willis Gray.
Mm-hmm.
And he and Catherine hit it off instantly. She falls in love with him. And so despite the nasty menu, despite the dog napkin, Catherine loved him.
He would
she-
strap it around his neck for lobster.
Yeah, she loved this guy.
Uh-huh.
So he starts telling her about his uncle Napoleon and how badly they've been treated and the exile.
Yeah.
As it turns out, Catherine has a famous uncle herself.
Oh.
Her uncle was America's first president, George Washington.
What?
Okay.
And so
Jeez.
as if it's meant to be, these two people get married that same year, 1826. And so when they get married, the people, the higher class, start calling them the King and Queen of Tallahassee.
Okay.
Well,
wow.
that makes sense because they're in St. Augustine.
But Tallahassee is the capital. And so
Yeah.
because they're
Okay.
so...
But why can't they be the king and queen of Florida?
I guess that could be. Maybe
No,
it's
that was taken.
They're just not that high.
offensive to the governor, I
Yeah.
think. So now, granted, this wasn't an official title by any means, but they had kind of achieved the success socially that Achilles always wanted.
Yeah, I mean, that
he
baked
loved
buzzard.
this, right?
Yeah.
really
big
pushed
buzzard.
them up.
He
Yeah.
said
Like-
boiled hoot owl?
Yeah.
Man,
He
I
was finally
still-
getting respect. He
boiled,
loved it.
broiled or boiled? 'Cause-
Boiled.
Oh, wow.
He
Boiled.
falling
Oh,
off.
I heard broiled first. I was like, ooh, never broil your
No,
hoot owl.
never. The meat's falling off the bones, though.
Yeah, you want to boil that hoot
Right.
owl.
So Achilles and Catherine eventually, they ran into some financial issues, and they were forced to sell the property.
You mean from not making money?
Yeah, because at this point they're just socialites.
Yeah.
But Achilles never held official office,
Yep.
and he and Catherine never had any children. But regardless, they were just extremely happy. Like they were so happy to be in the positions they were in
I think
Florida.
that comes
Good for
with
them.
not having a job.
Yeah.
I think so. I guess. But in 1847, Achilles became ill, and he passed away at their home with Catherine by his bedside.
Oh.
And things were looking kind of rough for her. But a few months after his passing, she receives a letter in the mail. And it was from Achilles' cousin, Napoleon III, who was now the new emperor of France.
Jeez.
Okay.
And he had heard about Achilles' passing and their reputation, and he wanted to make sure that Catherine was taken care of. And so he sent her $40,000 in gold.
Goodness.
And an annual stipend so that she could live the life of royalty that he felt like she deserved.
You know, it probably took like 6 months to get that letter.
Yeah.
So it has to go over and notify him he's passed.
Yeah.
He has to write a letter. Hey, you good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she writes back, nah, not good.
I need some gold.
I need some gold.
I'm living off Hoodoo.
Give me the gold.
I'm starving.
$40,000 in gold. You could buy St. Augustine for that.
Right,
back then.
exactly.
Yeah.
She actually repurchased the property that they had sold.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
And she lived in the community for another 15 years before she passed away. And that's the story of our Florida man, Achille Murat. But fun fact, his first apartment that he bought on George Street in St. Augustine, you can actually go there
What?
and kind of walk through it and
Let's
see
go.
it.
I've been to George Street.
You think-
Never heard this name mentioned before.
You think she buried some gold there?
I hope so.
Maybe, but I think it does kind of goes to show, though, like, no matter how like different you are, I think if you meet the right people, they'll love you for who they are, for who you are. And, you know, I
hey,
mean,
baby, that's us.
that's
Uh-huh.
us.
That's us.
I think it's kind of cool that the guy like went from being like super outcast to like the life of the party. And as far as we know, never really had a real job.
I bet there was rough seas, and he probably almost died. And he's like, "No, I got to change things.
Yeah.
I don't want to live barefoot catching
Birds.
birds.
If
Forever.
I'm gonna catch birds, I'm gonna eat big.
I'm gonna eat big."
I'm gonna eat big tonight, baby.
Can I
So,
go,
yeah.
Gucci? I need to wipe my hands.
I think that's the ultimate social status. If you have a napkin dog,
Oh man,
Yeah,
what type of
for
breed?
real.
What
I
breed?
don't know.
it just said fluffy.
Yeah. Oh, it
just
did say
said
fluffy.
Yeah.
You probably get the Beethoven one. Right?
Yeah, big Beethoven dog.
Or do they shed?
Maybe.
Oh.
Yeah, either way, it's nasty. But I
Because
think
then you need a napkin dog for your now.
for your napkin
Like
dog.
if you're eating chicken wings,
right.
and you douse a napkin dog, now you got chicken wing
Fur.
hands.
It's now the chicken wing dog.
Yeah.
And then you need another. 'Cause
Another dog.
You can't wash off in the river because that's where you hide from the mosquitoes.
yeah,
Yeah.
you need a more bristly dog.
Yeah. Listen, I love it. I love Achille. I think he's a nice fella. And we support the Bonapartes on this show.
Yeah,
I guess
For real.
so.
I mean,
Sounds
you got to
like it.
think if she had 40,000, you get 40,000 anything, you're dropping something.
That's true.
Viva la revolution.
It's got to be something there.
It's got to be something there, Cam.
I love it. So it's been a great week.
Super weak.
FMOFM.com is where you can find us.
Napkindogs.com.
Napkindogs.com. No, don't go there. We
Don't go there. Good God.
We don't own that. We don't even know what that
I
is.
can only imagine.
I know. Our social networks are FMOFM Podcast. And if you love the show, reach out and let us know. If you hate the show, reach out and let us know.
Yeah.
Take a pic of your napkin dog.
Yeah. And if you're, listen, if you can afford a napkin dog, listen,
You can afford to donate.
you can afford to donate
That's right.
to the show.
That one guy in Cam's story got rid of his napkin dog.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did.
That's true.
Well, listen, we love you guys. It's been a fantastic week.
Yeah.
And thank you for tuning
joining
in.
us.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time.
Love you.
Hoot hoot, baby.